Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at how I do Pallof presses. But first, you shouldn't be performing any exercises you see on the internet unless you've been cleared by a medical professional to do so. In addition, whenever I'm doing this exercise, I don't have any numbness, tingling, burning, pain, stabbing pain, any pain at all like that. If I did, I would stop and immediately talk to a medical professional because that's abnormal and it's usually a sign of something else underlying going on. This is particularly true whenever you have any exercises that involve the spine. Before any of you polish your monocle and slap it on your face and say, but doesn't almost all exercises involve the spine? Which you'd be correct, there are quite a few that do. This is one that is really targeted for the muscles adjacent to the lumbar spine, specifically the QLs, which live here and here. My spine being here, so they live off to the side. The QLs are something in the vast majority of Western civilization that become weak and eventually become painful. And almost always it starts in the hips. That's right, so the muscle that kicks your leg out to the side, that glute med, that piriformis, that also helps with external rotation. When those muscles get weak, the QL, which is right up that chain on the back of the pelvis, tries to step up and stabilize. And so that's where this exercise comes in for me. When my hips get weak, right, or historically when my hips have been weak, this is one that I need to do because I could feel my low back trying to pick up the slack from my hips. So while I was trying to strengthen my hips to make them stronger, especially getting this motion out to the side, this was an exercise I was incorporating in order to protect my back. It's one that I still do. If you see my video on the hip hiking, this is one of my 2 all-time favorite exercises to help protect my back. Now, how do I perform this exercise? Start with a cable or a resistance band. I take a step all the way out to get away. I say all the way out, it's kind of like one large step. I take the cable, I put it in the center of my chest, my hand comes across, it helps anchor the handle in between my hands and keep it right in my sternum. And then I do a little bit of core engagement. So I'm not leaning back and trying to push away. I'm actually trying to curl and engage my core. So when I say curl, I'm doing like a abdominal brace. And then I'm pressing out. And I hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I turn right back. I do 10 of those. I do 10 of those on each side. There's a whole bunch of variations of these that I actually do. Another one, I start here, I hold it, and then I step out, I step back, and I let it relax. There's also another one where I can pull all the way out, stop, press, back, press, back. Now all of those for me still have the same fundamental movement where I get the cable, I add the abdominal bracing, and I press. The idea is not for me to be here and pressing like some sort of weird push-up variation. I'm instead being here. Core engaged, locked in, pressing out. Now, why would I do those other variations? There's a whole bunch of different reasons why I would do this. Depends on what I'm training for. If in my daily life I catch myself moving something sideways or forward, I'm pushing, say for example I'm a nurse and I'm working on the floor or I work in the Amazon warehouse or something like that, I'm probably going to be braced and pushing things a lot. So for me, that side step would be more indicative of what my actual day-to-day life looks like, and I'm trying to train my body in order to handle the daily stimulus it's receiving. Unfortunately, I'm not Batman or Superman, so I don't train like a superhero all the time. I train like my job requires me to, which is part of that thought process. Now, the same goes with this. If I'm doing something that looks like this motion in my daily life, that's how I'm going to train my body, because that's the stimulus my body needs to get used to and needs to be able to accept in a load standpoint for me to be injury-free. That's where my mindset goes. I'm training for longevity, I'm training for health. So if I do this all day, And I don't know what exercise or job would require me to do this, but I'm sure there's a lot. Maybe even stacking shelves at a grocery store, because I worked at a grocery store for 7 years. That's how I'm going to train, because I want to set my body up for success. I want to have that mind-muscle connection, and I also want to have that stability and mobility on stability. So that's the different Pallof Press forms I personally use, depending on where I've been at in my life, and depending on what I'm doing, or what I'm training for, what season of life I'm in. That's how I adapt the Pallof Press to what I do. Now the dosage for me is almost always the same. If I'm just doing static hold, it's 10 for 10. If I'm doing step outs with it, guess what? It's like 3 sets of 10. If I'm doing the 1, 2, it's 3 sets of 10. That just has been how I dose it personally. But again, no pain, no discomfort, no stabbing pain, no aching pain, no numbness, no tingling, nothing like that. If I did with this, I'd stop, because this again is a sensitive area. It's my lumbar spine. I don't want to play around with those sorts of symptoms. I want to get them checked as soon as possible. This has been how I do the Pallof Press. Also, go ahead and check out my previous video on the hip hiking. That's another one of my absolute favorite exercises of all time for my low back or my hip. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the website, link down in the description. Shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing, and you make this possible. Without you, I wouldn't be able to pay for the website. I wouldn't be able to have the motivation to do these sorts of things. Now, everybody, please stay healthy, stay fit, and stay awesome. I will catch you all.